Hello everyone, welcome to my channel and welcome to Autolane Workshop. Today on the lift I had this Kawasaki Vulcan S 650. I said had, you heard correctly. Why is that? I had this bike on the lift and I already finished this bike. My plan was not to make any video with this bike because I thought it will not be interesting, but it was. So the plan was to do a service, and the plan was to change air filter, spark plugs, and to do valve clearance check. So when I opened the engine, when I checked the valves, I found 3 or 4 valves which needs to be adjusted. So I found it interesting for you because this is not my cup of tea, but it doesn't matter. It's not about me, it's about you. I'm running this channel for you, and you have to see as many bikes as possible, and I'm gonna do my best to show you. When I said the Kawasaki 650, in my head I have Kawasaki inline 4. That's why I said this is not my cup of tea. It's only 2 cylinders, but doesn't matter. This bike is very popular, especially with the beginners and with the girls. It's a low sitting bike. There is not too much power, but it's still enough power. It's good for the long distance drive. It's good for the short distance drive. So it's very popular bike and very agile. So yes, I hope you're gonna enjoy the video, and thank you for following and thank you for the subscriptions. See you next time. This is how you put the engine in the face. So you open up this hole. So this was there, and then you use number 17 to spin it clockwise inside. I hope you're gonna see marking. It says 1T, which means the first cylinder is on the top dead center, which is proof on this side. As you can see, top dead center on the first cylinder, and then you have markings on the crankshaft, sorry, the camshaft. This one here has to be aligned with this surface here. This one is slightly up, but that doesn't matter. This one here also, and this one here is completely aligned with this surface. Now you know that your engine is in the phase. On the first cylinder is on the top dead center, and now you're good to remove the camshaft and to start to adjust the valves. The chain tensioner is here below the camshaft. You see it here. So there is one bolt here, another one is under, and then you take it out. Okay, I'm gonna show you something. So it's not like on the car. When I remove the tensioner, this marking is not on the mark anymore. It moves clockwise for a bit. It's probably somewhere here. Also on the camshaft you see this marking. So from this it goes up for, let's say, 10-15 degrees, and also this one. So as I said, it's not like on the car. On the car you can block it and then easily you can remove everything and do whatever you want. But on the bike, on this model, that's not the case. So when you're putting everything back together, you have to align the marking here, 1T, so first cylinder on the top dead center, and then you have to mark these markings here, and then you put the tensioner back. I will explain on the one example. So the one I take out is this one here. That will be a left cylinder on the intake camshaft on the second cylinder. Sorry, this is the one I take out. It's a valve on the intake on the second cylinder, the left one. That one is 0.14. As you can see, we should be in this range, 0.15 to 0.24 when it's cold. So this one is too small. We have to increase the gap. So how are we gonna do that? It's very simple. The shim which I show you, I take it out. You can measure it with a device like this. So it says 3.11, but I never trust these. I always like to use micrometer, mechanical. So I will double check. Let's see what's gonna say. I don't know, can you see this? 3.12, let's say 3.12. I wanna check. Yeah, it's 3.12. So we have to replace this shim with the thinner one. When we replace it with the thinner one, we're gonna get more gap in between camshaft and the valve. So 3.11. I have a box like this. So inside you can see, maybe you can see the numbers. This is 3 millimeters, 305 and 310. So we already have 312, so I will not go with this one. I'm gonna go with 305, but I like to check, are they really what they said? Yeah, 305. So it means 0.6 is difference. I will also control with the micrometer. 3.7. So the difference is still 0.5. So what does it say? It means that this will not be 0.14, it will be 0.19, which is, I would say, perfect, because the range is 0.15 up to 0.24. We're going to get 0.19, so we are in the middle of these two range. So I would say in the middle of the tolerance, that will be perfect. So that's simple procedure. You just replace the shims. Small tips: if you have this shim and you don't have this box, and you have to, in the most of the bikes, this gap should be smaller. Sorry, it's always smaller. You have to make it bigger. So the small tips: you can also always take the machine and brush it out. You can remove the couple of 100 part of the millimeters, and then you get it thinner if you don't have this replacement. But these shims, they are not very expensive, so it's better to always have. You don't need to buy complete box. You can buy only, you take them out, you measure them, and yeah, it's important to know which one you need. So this is also important. This is 7.48, so 7.5 millimeters diameter. That's very important. So yeah, that will be how you do that. So I have 1, 2 and 3 valves to adjust, and we're good to go. I'm thinking of these two because they're very close to 0.15. Now they're 0.16. I will measure, and if I have shim replacement, I think I'm gonna make this gap a little bit bigger. So I want to be a little bit more in the middle of the tolerance. Yes, let's go back. The shim, usually when you take this out, you're gonna find the shim usually inside here, but the rear position for the shim is here. So it goes there, and then this one goes on top. Another one, you will see now. Yeah, it's here. Again, it's here. Okay, for now everything looks terrifying, but it's not. This mark, you probably cannot see it, but it's away from the set, not away, it's a little bit forward, clockwise, a couple of degrees. This mark here, you cannot see it from the surface, so it's also a little bit clockwise. This one here, it's interesting, it's a little bit more than this one. Why is that? Because you see the chain, the tensioner is not on the place. So when I put the tensioner back, we're gonna get a full picture how it looks. Okay, so let's put the tensioner back. If you're following my channel, you probably saw something like this in my previous videos. It's a chain tensioner. This one is a little bit different construction. So this side of the tension, it pushes the chain to keep it tight. And when you're removing the camshafts, you have to remove this, otherwise you will not be able to remove the camshaft. So this is how you release the pressure on the chain. So when you're putting back together, you need this part all the way in. So how you do that? Of course, you don't replace this. This is you can use it more than one time. So you have to, maybe you can see this movement here. So if you push this and you push this back, it will go only in one direction. On the back, you're not able to push it back. So how are you going to do it? You have to release this bolt. Under this bolt, you're going to have a spring. You take out the spring. And then, when you do this, it will stay. So you install the tensioner in this position. You tighten the tensioner on the bike with these two bolts. You torque it down to 10 Newton meters, and then you install the spring and this bolt. And this is what's going to happen. You see how it comes out, and you will get proper tension. You hear this sound. It goes click by click, and it makes pressure on the chain.
Okay.
Okay, let's see how far it will be from the correct position. Now I have it here on the 1T, and this one is completely flat. This one not really, but it's not a big difference. What we're gonna do, we're gonna spin the engine clockwise, and then we're gonna check what's gonna happen. Okay, I spin the engine, as you see. The lamp is too strong, but I can see the mark. It says 1T exactly on the spot, and this one you can judge by yourself. I have exactly on the surface here. Also this one exactly on the surface. So everything is good. Now we can tighten. I can tighten the camshafts. So the torque for this is 10 Newton meters for these bolts. So you always start in the middle. If you don't have a specific pattern, you always start in the middle and you spread away and around. All right, let's tighten the head.
I'm making coffee. Anybody want coffee? I'm making coffee. I'm having a cup of coffee. Does anybody want coffee? Because I'm having a cup of coffee.